You know, one of my favorite things about this night is getting to know the people of the rehab, you know, the nurses, the therapists, but especially the patients. We've met some great ones already. I had the privilege of sitting down with a very brave lady who reminds us all never stop fighting.
If you want to see a picture of a fighter, here it is. This is Danna Pennington, and this is her story.
I had a very bad car accident when I was 18, and I was in Hendricks Hospital for 3 days, semi-comatose from a whiplash. And then I had another whiplash about 15 years after that. And then one time I was working out in California. I was in my hotel room, and a man broke into it. And he assaulted me. It was an attempted rape. I fought him, and then he started hitting me in the face, and I just kept fighting and kicking.
Amazingly, Danna fought so ferociously, her attacker fled, but not before leaving her with serious damage to her neck.
So I got back home, and I was in a neck brace for 3 months. I couldn't hardly move my neck. It was just like I always had this ice pick going right here. This ice pick would not leave.
Years went by, countless doctors, failed surgeries, and still no relief. In fact, Danna's limited neck movement resulted in yet another car wreck.
In August of 2020, I was in another wreck and had a whiplash. And what woke me up was, it was my fault because I was having headaches and my neck started hurting again, is I had limited motion in my neck. I couldn't turn it. I was only going about this far, but I didn't realize that.
That wreck brought Danna to the West Texas Rehab, where she would finally find the help she'd been looking for.
From the day that I walked in to the orientation to back, just as nice as can be, it's a happy place. It's not sad because I've had a stroke and I can't, move my leg, or I've had knee surgery. It's happy. The therapists make you happy, they're happy. As soon as you walk in the door and you sign in and say hi, they're happy.
When Danna was telling me her story about her incident and everything, I thought, well, that kind of story doesn't get told enough. I think it was, one, important just for people in general to hear that happens to people, and one, there's hope.
And I'm awesome. I take very little pain pills now. I drive much more safely. The world is a lot safer because of that. And I just feel better about myself. And if it wasn't for Aaron, I wouldn't have noticed a lot of things I was doing. My life took such a drastic change from the attack. Not only the pain, but the emotional. Laying in bed and hurting, and you have all this pain, and it just brings back every moment of it. They've just changed my life, and sometimes it's hard for me to remember that person I was. Depressed and cried at the drop of a hat. But I'm a stronger person than I was 2-3 years ago. The pain's better, the whole aspect of my life is better. I can walk up bleachers and go to the football game now.
That's why I want this story to be told, is because she did come out of it. There's hope, and the rehab can provide a lot of that.
And so can you. Because of community support and loyal donations, West Texas Rehab is able to provide treatment to anyone who walks through the doors, regardless of their financial situation.
What the insurance thinks you need versus what we think you need is a lot different. That's when the rehab can come on and say, well, don't worry about that, we've got it covered. And so that's really important to me.
Yeah, you become a friend, not just a patient and a therapist. You become a friend. It's just changed my life. And I'm just so thankful for it that I can be the granny and the nana that I was before.
Joining me now are the one and onlys, Danna Pennington and her therapist, Erin Walling. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Pleasure.
I have to say a special thank you to Danna. I just found out that her grandkids are at Winter Formal, and she was supposed to be a chaperone, but she decided to come here instead, and we are very grateful for that, because we definitely need to talk to her about her journey with the rehab and just kind of how you're feeling now. How does it feel to be so capable now after what you've been doing at the rehab?
Oh, it's just awesome. I don't even think twice now about doing something before. I make sure something was around me that I can grab a hold, or a child or a grandchild. And they still, as we go places, they'll put their hand out to me, and I don't need that anymore.
No,
So-
you sure don't. And I love how we're watching you. You're so mobile and you're just moving so freely, and that was definitely not the case, right?
I could hardly move. It was just like, and like over the years, when something like that goes on so long, you don't realize it, that you're just, you're limiting it, because subconsciously, if you move a certain way, it's going to hurt. And that's what happened with me all those years. I was just limiting myself because of the pain. Then once you have all that pain and you limit, then the muscles tighten up and everything else.
Well, it's a good thing that you found Mr. Aaron over there.
Oh, he's awesome. I just love him to death.
He's a good guy. And Aaron, I want to ask you, I love getting to talk to the therapists throughout these stories in the year. What makes you proud to work at the rehab? Because I hear that a lot. They say, I am very proud to work there.
That's a hard question. There's so many things. I think one, just that I have the freedom to, do what I want, regardless of what insurance restrictions may be. It's my favorite patients are the ones that, insurance isn't restricting.
Yeah.
And, we could just go on for, I think with Danna, we were together for 20, almost probably 25 visits over the span of 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. And that's what's so great about the fundraisers like tonight. It's because of those donations that go to the donor sponsorship program that you don't ever have to worry about having your hands tied because of insurance. And on that note, Danna, I would love for you to tell all our friends watching at home why it means so much to you and all the other patients at the rehab when they give.
Well, what I want people to realize when they ask for a donation, they're not asking for anything big, $10, $5. That's, any penny, those little pennies add up. And it's just, that's what needs to be done, is don't think, oh, I'm not going to donate because I can't afford it. Well, they're not asking for that much. If everybody in Ameling donated $1, how much would the West Texas Rehab have?
And I love that thought, Danna, because it is a team effort, because the rehab is for everybody in this room, watching at home. It's your rehab, so we love to see people give. We are so glad that you're here tonight. Thank you for helping us spread the message, guys.
I appreciate being here. I appreciate that somebody wants to listen, because, you learn from listening to other people's stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well
just glad
said.
that her story is being told.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys very much.